Someone is big mad. You broke the cycle. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. Someone is big mad that you broke the cycle. I need somebody to drop in the comments and say I broke the cycle. Right? Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say I broke the cycle. Now, whatever your cycle is, you broke it. Everybody have different cycles. It can be breaking, generational brokenness, right? Meaning everybody is bad with money. Nobody understands how to manage it. Nobody understands how to accumulate it, let alone multiply it, right? Maybe you broke the curse of being generationally behind in poverty. That's another curse where people feel, or another cycle where people feel as though poverty is okay, money is evil, or even trying to enlighten yourself on becoming better in life, trying to enlighten yourself on trying to become rich in spirit, all these different things, y'all. You broke that cycle. A lot of people will be mad about that. Maybe you don't want to be a worker no more, whether that is white collar or blue collar, right? You decided to be an entrepreneur or a digital nomad, whatever the case is. Understand something, y'all. This is another cycle that you have broken, becoming a better person. Maybe everybody in your family are terrible individuals. They don't know how to treat people. They don't know how to treat men, right? They don't understand how to treat women. The point is, y'all, is that when you decide to break a cycle, you have to be ready for everybody to be pissed off and mad at you, even your coworkers. But I want y'all to understand this one important thing, y'all. This one important thing. You are not responsible for other people's misfortunes. Let me say that louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. You are not responsible for other people's misfortunes. Meaning you're not responsible for how a person treat themselves. You're not responsible for what a person have missed out on. You're not responsible for what a person don't have. You're not responsible for a person losing something. You're not responsible for that. And a lot of times, y'all, us empaths, okay, aka chosen ones, feel that we are responsible for what a person don't have, or responsible for where a person should be, because we see so much potential. But newsflash, y'all, potential is only dormant ability, meaning they're not going to do anything with that potential unless they want to. All right. You can't want it better than somebody else want it better for themselves, or you cannot want it more than a person want it more for themselves. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. So yes, someone is mad that you broke the cycle, y'all. Real quick, I had to break a cycle, the past 2 days, right? Here in America, y'all all know this, but it's great here. I think we live in the best country in the world. That's my opinion. And according to the laws, according to what we have, our products, services, the freedom, everything, right? However, one thing I dislike about it that can be a cycle for a lot of us is waking up every day with the bill mentality, y'all. Waking up every day like, oh, boy, I got to get to it. Even if you're making good money, you can still have this mentality. Wow, you got social media. Then you feel like the Grim Reaper is going to come get you if you don't work. You don't want to go back to being broke. It's so many different things that pull you to, I got to make money. I got to get up. And so I said, man, forget these next 2 days. These next 2 days belong to me. These next 2 days belong to me. It don't belong to my social media family. It don't belong to my real family. It don't belong to YouTube, Facebook. It don't belong to, I don't care who it is, y'all. And there's no disrespect, but you have to break the cycle for yourself. Once again, somebody drop in the comments and say, break the cycle. Now, y'all know I love y'all to death. I really do. But I have to take that time for myself. And I'm saying the same thing to you. It should not matter about Reno Speech Riches. Should not matter about whoever influencer or whatever YouTuber you watch. It should not matter about your family. It should not matter. You got to take time out for yourself. This is how you break the cycle. At least this is one aspect. And so I'm just bringing that to your attention, y'all. I have to do it too. And of course, somebody was mad at me, but I don't care. It is what it is. All right. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get to it. Y'all see we are right here in the famous living room, okay? Right in front of the legendary gray couch. Anytime I'm in front of the legendary gray couch, y'all, something legendary gonna be said, and that's just how that go. Your boy's having a swell day. Yes, I said swell, y'all. I hope y'all are having an even better one, all right? I haven't been for a stroll in the park maybe for about a few days, 4 or 5 days, maybe a week, y'all. These days be going by so fast. It can't be 24 hours in a day, y'all. Am I the only one? Am I just tripping? Y'all drop in the comments and let me know. But we will be going for a stroll in the park, y'all. Maybe tomorrow, 2 days from now. But as of right now, y'all, I'm in the living room. Got jujitsu practice today. Today is jujitsu, okay? And so I hope y'all are having a great day. Y'all drop in the comments and let me know how y'all are doing. Just giving y'all a little bit about myself for right now. But let's go ahead and get directly into this video. First thing first, leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Listen, y'all. Number one, you saved a generation. This is why they are mad that you broke the cycle. Yeah, you saved a generation. You have to understand, y'all, when you break the cycle, it's bigger than just you. That's why so many people be mad. Yep. That's why so many people were mad at Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman. They were pissed off at them because it wasn't just about that one person. No, it's about the millions of people that they're going to influence. It was about the hundreds of people who were around them at that particular time. It was about the people who was going to gain the strength after seeing them do what they were doing. That's why they were so powerful, and that's why so many people were mad that they were breaking the cycle. Somebody drop in the comments and say a change is going to come. Yeah, that's why they had to Sam Cooke too. When you are the first one to do something, you got to know you are the first one who broke the door down, which means there are going to be many and plenty who come into that door that you broke down. Yeah, that's why so many people are pissed off. You think about men who are in broken homes, right? Guess what? Chances are all they know is womanizers, abusers, users, infidelity, cheaters, right? Guess what happens? When one man out of that family decides to break the curse or break the cycle, all the other men in the family, unless they want best for their nephew or best for their sons, all right, most times they don't because people want you to stay in the same place that they're stuck in. If they decide to break that cycle, they're going to be mad. We supposed to be womanizing. We supposed to be abusers. What's going on with you, nephew? Right? They don't want him to get better. Same thing for a woman who's in a broken home. Guess what? All she know is users, infidelity, cheaters, abusers, misandrous, right? You know, women who hate men or women who don't do well with men. Guess what? If she decides to break that cycle, she gonna be the eyeball. Yeah. And they're gonna be mad. Why? Because she saved a generation. Not just herself, but the children that's gonna come from her. And the children that she's going to have with another man, they're going to build their own foundation and their own dynasty. She's saving a generation, right? Somebody drop that down below in the comments. I saved a generation. This is why they're so mad. It ain't just, listen, y'all, it's not just you. It's about the kids that's coming from you and through you. It's about the people who's going to grow, courage after watching you. That's why they always have to make an example out of certain people. Colin Kaepernick, Martin Luther King, people who stood for something or took a knee for something in Colin Kaepernick's case. But the point is, y'all, you saved a generation. Number two, it's going to be this right here, family. You're finally at peace. You are finally at peace, y'all, right? Somebody drop in the comments and say peace is everything. And here's the thing, y'all. Even if you're not in that space or place right now, just speak this into fruition. You are at peace. You're in peace. And you have to understand, once you get to that point or place, a lot of people are going to be mad. Yeah. A lot of people are not going to understand you. Yeah. A lot of people won't like the fact that you're smiling more. Yeah. You ever notice how some people just like it better when you were, draggish, sluggish, druggish, an alky or a wino, where you was just out of it all of the time. when you didn't have no peace, when you was anxious, right? Anxious because you had bills coming, anxious because somebody was cheating on you, but you couldn't prove it, anxious because you didn't know where your next meal was going to come from, anxious because you didn't know what your purpose was in life, just anxious, right? However, y'all, when you finally at peace, you are now breaking free from the prison. Reno, what's my prison? Your prison can be emotions, how you feel, things that happened in the past, things that happened with other people in the past, where you're going to be emotionally in the future, how you feel currently, right? Emotional prison. Then you have, a mental prison. Things of what's in your head, the things you think about in your head, the things that's not going anywhere, the mental thoughts that stick with you and stay with you since you were 7 years old, 5 years old, 9 years old. Yeah, those things don't go anywhere. They stick with you. So it's a mental prison. It becomes a mental prison. You ever find yourself thinking about things all the time? Things that you would really wish that you could not think about anymore. You hate to think about it, but you can't help but to because it's in the file cabinet in your mind or of your mind. Yeah, it's a prison. Spiritual prison, not being or feeling spiritually free, not knowing what to go or where to go, whether it's left or right spiritually, not feeling like you are intact with the Most High spiritually. It's a spiritual prison. So many people are in a spiritual prison, but they don't know that they have the keys to unlock the cage or the cell, right? Financial prison, that's very big here, y'all, once again, in America. Every time you spend money, it's almost like it takes a month, 2 months, 3 months for it to accumulate back up. Every time you get money, it seems like it's gone the same day you get it. Anybody been there? That's what we experience, y'all, when you're in this prison. But when you are free, right? Now you have a savings. Now you know what to do with the money. Now you know how to seal up the money gaps or the holes that's inside of the bucket. You know how to seal it up. You're free now. You're not trying to figure out where the next dollar is going to come from or when the next dollar is going to stay. You're free. See, that brings you to a place of being at peace. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? When you now have freedom. A man can never be at peace if he does not have freedom. And a man can never have freedom if he is not at peace. Quoted by the great Malcolm X. Number 3, y'all, it's going to be this right here. They take it as disrespect. Yeah, they take it as disrespect. Y'all, one thing I learned is when I began to chase my dreams, right, whether that was me chasing music or whether that was me doing YouTube, creating videos, but anything that was other than working a regular job or other than doing what everybody do in society, when I decided to chase my dreams, y'all, you should see the faces on people, right? You should see how people respond to that. You should see how people take that. Would you believe that people take it as, how dare you, right? Yeah, when you decide to chase your dreams, people take it as, how dare you chase your dreams? How dare you do something that we're not doing? How dare you decide to, build a business? How dare you decide to write your first book? How dare you decide to create some music? You need to fall in line. Somebody drop in the comments and say the line wasn't made for me. Smart. The line wasn't made for me. I'm just going to be honest. And that's the same thing with yourself. So they're going to take it as disrespect whenever you come around. Ain't that crazy? How can I disrespect you by respecting myself? Let me run that back for you, y'all. How can you disrespect the next man or woman by respecting yourself? It's because they don't respect themselves enough to discover who they are. It's because they don't care about themselves enough to do the things that they have never done or even dreamed of always doing. They don't care about themselves enough to truly dive deep into their health, dive deep into what it takes to build wealth, not even just monetarily, right? But spiritually. They don't care enough to do the work. You do. That's why they take it as disrespect. Number 4, y'all. You see what they don't see. Okay. You see what they don't see, y'all. I've spoken about this book many times, but there's always new people that's coming on the channel, so I'm gonna speak about it again, y'all. It's this book called The Cave, right? In the Cave, okay? Inside the Cave, in the Cave, y'all look it up. And the moral of the story, y'all. Well, I'll just give y'all a few plots so y'all can understand the moral. But what it was about was these people who were inside of the cave. They were living within a illusion, right? And so the animals that they would see would be like, bunny ears that you make with your fingers. They would see shadows on the wall or shadows within the cave. It was like an illusion. So the dog would be a fake dog that's on the wall. The bunny would be the bunny ears that you make with your hands. It would be fake animals, fake skies, fake everything. It was all an illusion. And it wasn't until somebody made it outside of the cave to say, hey, I see a real dog. Hey, I see a real cat. I see a real bunny. This is what it actually looks like. And the people who were still inside the cave were mad at the people who were outside the cave, calling them liars. All right. Well, that's how it operates here in the real world, especially, y'all, the U.S. A lot of people are living within an illusion, and it takes for them to really see what it is when they step outside of their cave. Well, whenever you see what they don't see, this means that you have broken the cycle. You're not in the cave no more. You don't see what they see, and they don't see what you see. Therefore, it's going to be a conflict of interest because they are still in the cave. Y'all go look that book up. I'll never forget that book, y'all. I read it in a lady class by the name of Miss Dana Lee. I never forget her. I always had A's in her class, and she was a great teacher when I was in college, y'all. It was great. But look that book up, y'all, In the Cave. You see what they don't see. They're still in that illusion. You're not. Number 5, y'all, it's going to be this right here. You did it first, all right? You did it first. It's not about a competition. I want to make that clear. It's not. But here's my point, y'all. Have you ever been the first person with some shoes? You was the first person with a game, right? Maybe you was the first person to ever travel, and people tried to diminish it, make it seem like it wasn't a lot, right? When if it was them, they would want you to say congratulations, good job, or they would, try to brag about it. But since you did it first, they try to make it seem like it's so easy and so accessible, and it's not that hard, it's not that bad. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. People will get mad when you break the cycle. You was the first one who thought about it. You was the first one who talked about it. Therefore, you were the first one who did it. You actually did what you said you was going to do. That's what they hate you for. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Someone is mad you broke the cycle. This is how you know, y'all, when you did it first. Simply, you started traveling. You did what you said you was going to do. You built the business. Everything you said you was going to do, y'all, you did it. But you just so happened to do it first. All right? That's why they mad. But family, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. Of course, I got another banger video for y'all. But we're going to get up out of here after we do this recap. Number 1, you saved a generation. Understand that. Number 2, you're finally at peace. Number 3, they take it as disrespect. Number 4, you see what they don't see. And number 5, y'all, you did it first, all right? Y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all book a one-on-one session with your boy. Y'all be sure to check out any one of my books. Go over to the Rich Mentality Academy. Join the membership. Meet your tribe. And, of course, y'all, go get you a Yes Sir t-shirt. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.